going to be about my guide, Sarah. A couple people were asking me, because of my blog and previous videos, they're like, who's Sarah? Like, well, you never mentioned anything really about her. I think I mentioned her at least in one video. This video is going to be devoted to talking about how I first met her. So the first incident I can recall ever meeting her was when I finally quit my horrible job. Took all my time after that to basically let my body recuperate from years and years and years of just like abuse to it. It was during that time that I spent a long time like sleeping, basically like as much as I possibly could. There wasn't really a whole lot else to do. My body was like probably 3 years into my Kundalini awakening, so it had like a lot of realignment to do, but that was like right at the beginning. The place I met her the very first time was in a dream. I saw the outside of a residence. There was a small house on like a plot of land that looked like it had a field for farming. Looked like they were growing cabbages too. Then I was inside this house. Like the dream just cut, and for whatever reason I was on the floor. I don't know why. Like there was nothing preceding that moment. I was just sort of on the floor. And I look up, and standing in front of me was this woman. Like unlike any woman I had ever seen ever before. I knew there was something special about her, like instantly. There was something very remarkable in the way that she looked. Like in a sense, it was almost like inhuman. It's kind of what I refer to as the light bulb experience. Like I have this analogy that when people are highly, like of a higher frequency, they're kind of like light bulbs. They're just turn on and they're just full of light. They're not like how most of us have like a lot of character. They're like all character all at once. It's like white light versus having like your favorite color be like your character personality. And that was the impression I got from her. It was like seeing a person who like every high potential was all on all at once, physically speaking. It was her posture, it was the way she stood, it was the proportions in her body, but more than anything else, the thing that was like really like remarkable about her was her face, because I had never ever seen a face like that ever anywhere on earth in my life. I mean, she was human, but the face had exact, precise, like mathematic, geometrical precision. Like it had perfect symmetry. Most of us are imbalanced on our masculine side, which means that even if you're left-handed, the predominant expression that you have physically is more of a left brain. At the time, I thought that she was like an angel. I thought, yeah, like I had like connected with like a higher level, and that's what I thought I was seeing. It was probably many years later where I started just saying randomly the name Sarah. It just kind of like slipped out of me. Like I didn't mean to say it, but I said it. And since that time, it stuck. That was the first time that I met her. The second time that I met her, the second time was like, I would consider like the real introduction. The manner in which I met her explained a lot just in that experience. There's this idea in writing, like when you're writing movies and things like that, show, don't tell. This was kind of like that. There was nothing spoken between us. There was no words in either of the two instances. But the way that I first saw her the first time explained a lot in like a really shocking and profound way. So flash back to probably 10 years, maybe 10 years ago. I'm on Facebook. I just posted like a selfie of myself that I thought looked okay. But then someone commented something that was really unexpected. They said that I looked angry. And I didn't know what to make of it at the time. So I walked downstairs, made myself some tea. And while I was waiting for the kettle to boil, I walked to like the back of the kitchen and was looking out the back door. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I don't understand why people think I look angry. Because it wasn't the first time that I ever heard someone say that before. In fact, it happens probably like a year or two earlier with my brother's like new wife. And she said that about me too. And it's like, I just didn't understand why she said that too at the time. Because at the time, both instances, I wasn't angry. But I remember what I did feel like the first time someone said that. It wasn't anger, it was fear. It's like, I was like just waking up at that point, and I was constantly like frightened about like being like woken up. I don't know if you know what it's like to suddenly realize you're like a completely different person than everybody else you've ever known, or that you're even supposed to be, that you know it's not just like some misunderstanding. It's frightening. So at the time I was like walking around and I was just like really, really scared. But for whatever reason, like maybe just the structure of my face, or I don't know, like I have no clue. I don't know what it was exactly, but she said, "You look angry," right? So at that moment, when I was looking out the window, I was thinking, maybe it's like some kind of like physical like protection mechanism, like a puffer fish or something, right? Like it just kind of creates that look or something unintentionally when I'm scared. And then I thought to myself, okay, if that's true, then all I have to do is just relax. And as I said that and exhaled, I turned my head around, and at the end of that exhale, I was staring eye to eye with Sarah, sitting on the sofa, looking exactly where my face ended up looking. Like I was shocked. It only lasted for like probably like, God, like an instant of a second. It was long enough to know that it was a woman, that she was looking at me, and to recognize what she was wearing was the exact same thing she was wearing in the dream. It was so shocking to like suddenly see her looking directly in my eyes with like laser-like precision. Like it was eye to eye, not off to the left or the side or anything. It was like she was just waiting for me to end up looking at her in that exact same position, sitting on the sofa. It was instantly stunning. So much so I shocked myself right out of the experience, just like that. There she was. And I instantly thought to myself, why is this being here? Why is she looking at me? The reason she's making that kind of connection with me is because she's almost like a mirror reflection of myself. From that moment, when she showed herself to me like that, it was like she was telling me that that's what I am. She's saying it has to do with the integrity of your systems. Having the same system exist equally here in what you see as third density, and there as what you see fourth, which is where I was sitting, she's saying. That was the second time that I met her. There is more to this story, like a lot more, but essentially that was my introduction to Sarah. And since that point, she's shown me how to talk with her. At first it started in dreams, but then she made me realize that we could talk to each other just the way that I'm talking right now. Basically by getting me to talk to myself. I've always had like a really strong like imagination. Like I've always played like imaginary games by myself, and especially being like a different kind of person, it makes it a lot more easy to have like a relationship, she's saying. Which is thus then having a relationship with everyone else in the best possible way. It's easier when you're different to like have that kind of relationship with yourself, because it gives you the kind of connections that other people have like on a regular level. But essentially, I'd always talk to myself growing up. Like I used it just to like work problems out. But at a certain point in my talking to myself, she started to use my like body and language to like say certain things. She even used words I had to like look up in the dictionary. She put me through a process, but essentially it ended up with me standing in front of a mirror with me asking myself the words like, how am I doing this? How am I speaking? How am I speaking? How am I speaking right now? Like I had this very strong impulse to do that. And then I was like looking at myself doing it going, what is this? Right? It was like freaking me out a little bit. But then ever since that point, I started to like relax into it. And now I talk to myself regularly on purpose, with the knowledge that there's actually somebody else on the other side talking. There is like someone else like in dreams, helping create like a lot of dream experiences for me. She's a master. I don't know if it's the condition for people, like for everyone's guides, but she's saying it is in a sense in the fact that they have the presence necessary to maintain that bracket so that people can continue to live the lives that they pre-set up to live in the story. That's from Sarah. But her in particular, I won't go into this video, but let's just say that she's not just in my dreams or in fourth density, she's also in third density. But that's a story for another time. My name's Summer. If you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe, comment below, let me know about your guide experiences, tell me like what you've had experiences with, and I'll see you later. Have a great day, guys.